All right, it's part 4. I've decided to do a part 4 because I checked to see how many people have viewed my YouTubes since the shooting happened. It's still July 26th, 2012. It's morning here in California. This is HRM Cesar St. Augustine de Buenaparte, a legitimate presidential candidate, and also known as Reality Supreme Being on YouTube. About a little more than 200 people, about 250 people actually, have viewed my YouTube since the Colorado shooting. Out of those 250, I'm sure that some of them were government officials, some of them were maybe even Homeland Security, because they're trying to pick at my brains through YouTube without contacting me directly to figure out, you know, what makes me tick, and you know, would I ever, since I have they know my background, they know I have a extensive knowledge of weapons, bombs, rifles, guns, you name it. Hell, I used to reload, so it's not like I probably know more than most police officers that carry guns, including the history behind, you know, weapons. Anyway, of those 250 people, I'm sure that not very many of them, probably some of them may have even been people that, maybe it was some of the people in Colorado that saw, you know, were in the theater and saw their friends get shot or saw their people or their loved ones get shot. And to hear somebody like me making sensational statements like what I've made in my videos brands me as a, sorry, as a cold-blooded person. But I'm not. I'm not cold-blooded at all. What's wrong here is that you people that were in the theater and saw all that, instead of letting yourself be guinea pigs to the media, don't interview by them. Because the media is just as evil as the government that allowed this stuff to happen. And I'm not kidding. This whole thing could have been prevented. I'm not somebody who's a wacko. I know what is needed. And you people don't. I know what's needed in the health industry to educate people in health, so at least they think right. You are what you eat. And when you don't eat right and you don't supplement correctly, you don't, you're not firing on all 8 cylinders. That's a term mechanics use when they're talking about a V8 engine. You're not firing on all 8 cylinders. One cylinder is not firing, so you're pumping just unburned fuel out of your exhaust tank, exhaust pipe, along with everything else. Now, I've said that in all my videos, I'm always predicting stuff that's going to happen. And of course, the government's not going to entertain any of my statements or any of my predictions because they can't solve them themselves. They'd have to sit there and try to unravel my coded prediction process, my cryptic coded prediction process. And I do that on purpose. I learned that actually from reading about Nostradamus when he finished making all of his so-called rhymes and statements about predictions. He threw them all up in the air out of order, and then he put them in order that way. So they're all out of order because he didn't want to be persecuted at that time by the same Christian authority that their ancestors were being fed to the lions by the Romans. Then they took over Rome, and then they started burning people at the stake for heresy and so on, and blasphemy. I mean, I don't have to go on talking about the logic and the lack of common sense that all of you have. And now that this has happened, you're going to have metal detectors in the theaters. You might as well put metal detectors in the churches, too. Because, I mean, there's nothing to stop somebody from walking in on a Sunday service and blasting a whole bunch of people. Or planting a bomb in a church, and boom! During a Sunday Mass. I mean, why not? So, when you hear me make statements like, you deserve it, yeah, because you haven't, I envy those people that are dead. You haven't been through what I have been through, and I cannot possibly ever help you become aware of what kind of scars and stimulus scars, I call it, that every time I see a car that I owned or another possession that I owned and it drives by, or I see it someplace, or I see something else that what reminds me of the things that I owned that were taken from me, it's horrible. I go through nothing but nightmares. At least I can sleep. When I sleep, I don't have those kind of nightmares. Every once in a while I'll have a nightmare, but at least I'm not plagued by all of this in my conscious waking hours, how I'm plagued by all of that. And it's always in the back of my mind. And it will never leave, because I will always have this antagonistic feeling about all of you. You have separated me from you forever. So you're not entitled to be really protected. Go ahead, use your technology, get your metal detectors, do all this stuff. By the time you're done with your society, it's going to be so unpleasant. Nobody can go anywhere. Nobody can be free to say anything. Yet the Bilderbergers, they can say free things. The idea of the Bilderberg group is that when they meet, all these people like Obama and Romney, when they go to these meetings with the rich elite in Europe and all that, they get to say anything they want to. They get to say the words kook, nigger, spec. They get to use every word and not be criticized for it by the media. And that's why one of the reasons the media is not allowed in these Bilderberg meetings, because they say all kinds of stuff. But regardless of that, that particular item, you people just don't get it. And I don't see anybody that's going to come around and help me. I don't see someone handing me a check for a few $1,000,000 or any of that. So why should I care about you people? I'm glad that I'm able to get on YouTube and say, you all deserve it. And you deserve it because you've got you're supporting the wrong people. It's very simple. You're supporting the wrong people. And the answer to this gun problem is very simple. I reiterate, I say it again. I have the answer for how to stop all this. But you people, Ronnie gets on TV and he says, better enforcement is needed. He's not against taking guns. I'm not either. As a matter of fact, I would say that you can have as many guns as you want without any problem. But you will not be able to do anything with them like what James Holmes did, or what the person in the McDonald's did when they opened fire, or the person in the beauty saloon in Southern California here, down from L.A., south of L.A., or the congresswoman and the girl who got shot over there. A little girl got shot in the theater too. And so you're looking at all these dead people, but you don't worry about the tax dollars you pay and the dead people that you've killed in Iraq and Afghanistan, and that your father and mother killed in Vietnam and in Panama when they went after Noriega. I mean, all this is a scam. And I don't understand how people can totally ignore me. I mean, if there's going to be a protest instead of the 99%, why don't you protest for me? Protest against the media. Boycott the media. Call them names. Call the White House. And like, I have that little bar that I put next to my videos here. And I say, call the White House numbers, 202-456, and then just jumble 4 numbers between 0000 and 9999. That's about 10,000 numbers. And jumble those numbers over and over again, and like a 4-digit combination on a master lock. You ever seen a brass master lock? It has 4 digits for combinations. If you go from 0000 to 9999, you'll eventually open that lock, because you'll run into one number at a time. It would take you a long time to count up to 10,000, but that's how long it would take. So, how long it would take to open the lock. So, and nobody's going to do that. Not really. So that's the numbers you need to jumble, and you'll get all kinds of numbers. You'll get private numbers of the security chief, staff, and all that to the White House, and you'll talk to the secretary of this and the secretary of that, and whatever. And you can leave nasty messages on their recording machines if you're pissed off about the Colorado thing. Personally, I love doing that. I can't do it anymore because the Secret Service met me in 2 weeks before the Gulf oil disaster. They met me at Boulevard Burgers on Ventura Boulevard, and they said, "Oh, it's you again." You know, and they said that if I called the White House anymore and left messages, that they would fabricate a way for the local level authorities to arrest me. For what? For leaving messages on recording machines that the White House is going to ignore anyway? Why was it making them worry? Because I'm intelligent. Because my civil rights are being violated. They were being violated back then, and they were being violated over the years. And no one came forward with any kind of authority to protect me. And that is wrong. To protect me and my possessions and my hard worked for labor equity. Every one of my possessions represented hard work that I'd put into something. And instead of a natural disaster coming along and destroying my possessions and my life, it wasn't that at all. It was people. People out of control. Power-hungry people who like to wave that big stick of power and beat people with it. So, yeah, you have a person here in the United States that does not like being a prisoner. I don't like, and to me, I'm a prisoner in this country, therefore I am a slave. I've been made a slave to living in this country. And having to live here is poison for me because it's slowly killing me. There's no free dental clinics. There's no free medicine either, and there should be. If I was dictator of this country, I would overnight make socialized medicine the law immediately. That would end a lot of our health problems. And I'd tell the doctors, if you don't like it, leave. Go practice someplace else. And I wouldn't need a Congress or a president. I just need the people's approval. And you can do that over your computer. Look at the YouTube videos. You've got YouTube videos, 1 million views, 50 million views. You could have people vote just through the computer. All they'd have to do is register their one and only Social Security number and then vote. They couldn't vote again if they voted before. They can't vote twice, so that would end it right there. Direct vote for president, direct vote for bills, a direct vote to have a bill tested before it's actually passed as law to see how it works. There's all kinds of things that we could do. But this is your country that you're keeping me prisoner in. I don't belong here. And what's left of my possessions don't belong here either. And my ideas for building that Shangri-La, that's over. I don't want to build that here. Because you people don't deserve something like what I was going to build. I'm not a power freak. I don't care about power or authority. I mean, I have power and authority already. The power and authority of my super genius mind that you people won't leave alone. Your collective conscious and unconsciousness has been waging war against me and against all people that are like me, that are very intelligent, very creative, and we don't want anything to do with you. We don't want to hear about your shootings in theaters and shootings in McDonald's and shootings in Starbucks and shootings in churches and shootings in whatever it is. If you took away all the guns from everybody, even the police, you'd then have knives, swords. I mean, you go back to the beginning when people were chopping themselves up in the past wars. That's how they chopped themselves up. So here I am at 14 minutes, and I could care less. You people don't care about me. You don't care about life, liberty, or the true pursuit of happiness and the achievement of this kind of happiness that keeps its symmetry. That happiness does not have to break apart. But that's what you people do, so what can I say? That ends it for today. I don't know what I'm going to do today. I don't have anybody to help me with any truck or anything that can help me move my stuff to someplace else because I can't afford the places that I'm in right now. And I certainly need help with some money as well. And when I say some money, I mean lots of money. I really need to get out of here. Either that or some trucker out there who's got a huge truck that's empty, that's here in Los Angeles, that wants to go someplace else and could pull up to all my places and I could just load it up and then leave. Alright, that's the end of the recording. Talk to you tomorrow, maybe, if I'm still alive.